Hello, I'm Maria Riegger, your host and resident Gemini, and this is Positive Parenting with Astrology. This episode is all about the lunar eclipse in Pisces happening tomorrow. But first, I am thrilled to announce that my Boundaries for Parents intensive on-demand course is live. You can purchase it directly and get immediate access by clicking the link below. As I said in an earlier video, I am thrilled to be offering this directly. There's no apps or integrations or email providers I have to use. That was very annoying, and it caused me a lot of extra time and a lot of extra stress figuring those things out because the email provider was there was a lot of problems with delivering content to you guys when you purchased it from me. So this link is immediate if you choose to buy it, you can get it immediately, not wait for an email or something. And if you would like a spot in this course for free, I am currently doing a giveaway. One lucky parent will win a free spot in this course, which is a $500 value. The winner is going to be announced the 10th, this Wednesday, at a Facebook Live event. The link to join the giveaway is below. The link for the Facebook event is also below. Now, everyone who shows up at the Facebook Live event gets a free gift from me. I just put the finishing touches on this gift this morning. It is very cool. I'm very excited about it. It has to do with my new parenting framework that I am also unveiling at the Facebook Live event on Wednesday. So a lot of cool things are happening. I have a book under review with a bunch of agents and publishers right now. I am really, really excited. A lot of cool things are happening. So before we get started on this, the last beta tester who took the Boundaries for Parents course actually ended up in tears. She told me that she felt seen, she felt validated, that it was like giving her permission to have her boundaries and enforce her boundaries. I also find that reaction very fitting for this lunar eclipse full moon in Pisces. It's going to bring up all the feels. So on that seg, let's talk about this lunar eclipse happening tomorrow, September 7th. As you know, even more so than a full moon, a lunar eclipse is about completion of cycles, ending of cycles, culmination of something maybe you've been working on, or some endeavor, some phase of your life maybe. So take a look at yourself and figure out what is that cycle for you. What is culminating right now? What is causing you to diverge maybe on a different path? Because lunar eclipse can also represent a kind of a divergence in your path, maybe going down a different way, different path than you thought you were going to go down, or a fork in the road, so to speak, making a different kind of decision that will take your life in a different direction. So think carefully about that. This is certainly a time for reflection and see what's coming up for you. Now, astrologer Michael Bryan, who runs Oraculo School of Astrology, who I've mentioned before, I study under him. He's fantastic, a real master of traditional astrology. He makes the point that eclipse events tend to be thought of as malefic, or more negative, that they're thought to be kind of a crisis point. They have this feeling of crisis around them. And by crisis, he means a, quote, sharp spike from the norm, unquote. So it doesn't mean necessarily crisis as something terrible happening. There's some surge of energy, or some situation is brought to your attention. And it could also be that your attention is scattered in different directions right now. Maybe many things are coming up right now. Maybe there's a spike in many areas and it's hard to handle everything at the same time. And of course, we're not able to do everything at once or handle everything at the same time. So it's a matter of what needs your attention right now. And for parents, most of the time, that's the kids, right? If you have multiple kids, I've heard parents of multiple kids say this, they think about who needs my attention right now, right? Who is having an urgent issue right now? Because clearly you want to give all your kids attention, but sometimes there may be crisis points or areas of where you have to focus your attention on one child. Does not mean that you love the other kids less. It just means that maybe this kid is having a situation that warrants your immediate attention right now. So think about that. think about where should you be directing your energy? Where are the most important areas? What are the most important themes where you should be directing your energy right now? Now, the new moon is usually when we set our intentions and state what we would like to manifest into our existence, right? So the full moon is not really the time to do that. So, per traditional astrology, the rules are no magic, no spells, no charging crystals during this time. I wouldn't do that, okay? Also, according to Feng Shui principles, the color black absorbs energy. So we can think of the color black being associated with a lunar eclipse. Why? Because Earth is between the sun and the moon during a lunar eclipse, and the Earth's shadow is kind of in the way of the moon or highlighting the moon. So it's blocking the moonlight from appearing to us. Now, that occasionally can cause the moon to appear different colors. Like this eclipse tomorrow is, some people are calling it a blood moon because of the way the Earth's shadow hits it. It's going to appear to be red, which is a spectacular sight, but also because the moon is not fully visible as it usually is. The color black can be associated with a lunar eclipse. And if black absorbs energy and you are charging crystals, and the lunar eclipse can be thought of as be having more of a, I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but traditionally it was thought to be more of a malefic event. You have run the risk of attracting negative energy, which you don't want. So for those reasons, I recommend you do not charge crystals during the lunar eclipse. Instead, use this time as a period of rest and reflection to gather your thoughts. Also, as retrograde season approaches, the energies of the planets are going to compel us to do that anyway, to turn all our thoughts and energy inward, our direction inward. So those are some general statements I want to start with. Also, look at the house in your chart and your kids' charts where this lunar eclipse is going to hit, because those themes will be emphasized during the eclipse. These kind of crisis points or decision points or areas of focus will have to do most likely with those areas associated with that house, those life themes. Now, the Pisces energy is going to cause our kids to be very emotional, have heightened emotional states. This is normal. Whether your kids are younger or older, tweens and teens, that kind of intense emotional expression is developmentally normal. Even with teens, and sometimes we think of them as adults because they look physically like adults, may even sound like adults. Maybe they have deeper voices, they're more articulate, they're taller than us, but they're not adults yet. They don't have adult brains yet. So that emotional intensity is normal, developmentally normal, and it will be heightened during this Pisces lunar eclipse. So remember to rest, take breaks yourself. It is okay to tell your kids, hey, I need a break for 30 minutes, or I can, you can use phrases to diffuse situations such as, I can tell that it is getting very intense right now. We are both feeling very intensely. Let's take a break, do whatever you like for half an hour. I'm going to go rest, and then we can come back and revisit this. So remember, again, this is a time for rest and reflection. And it is a time also where you got to stay regulated. If your kids are very emotional, showing those intense overreactions, intense emotional reactions, then you need to regulate so your kids can co-regulate with you. Remember, well, that's how kids learn to regulate their emotions and deal with them, is they have a parent who is able to regulate. And the kids borrow the regulation from the parents till they can internalize it developmentally and use it themselves. So it is important to that end that you take care of yourself. Do not pack your schedules and your kids' schedules during this time. Make time for rest. This is also not a time to be, doing dopamine-seeking behavior. So take it easy on the tech stuff, you and your kids. I know a lot of adults, myself included, we get stuck in that loop of scrolling. Oh, I'm going to watch one more thing or check one more thing. Be very cognizant of that and make sure you're not spending too much time in that dopamine loop, and make sure your kids are not spending too much time in that dopamine loop. You can try to redirect their attention. If they're younger, this is easier to do by taking them out to do some physical activity. If they're a teen, one surefire way to redirect a teen's attention, especially a teen boy's, is to say, hey, let's go get something to eat. That's what I do. Let's go get something to eat. Come on, do this with me, and then we can go get something to eat afterward, right? So just a reminder to take it easy on the tech stuff, so we're not engaged in that dopamine loop. Because Pisces also runs the Pisces energy. There's almost always a risk to escape. So that escapism can look like just the dopamine seeking behavior, and it's easy to do that even for adults, to get engaged in that loop when we find life very overwhelming. We don't know what to do next. You just go watch a show or go scroll your phone or game or something like that. It's easy to do. So make sure you're not engaging in pathological escapism. Little escapism is fine, right? But make sure you're moderating that for you and your kids. This is also a one of many series of eclipses along that Virgo Pisces axis. The North Node, which kind of represents our cosmic destiny, is in Pisces, and the South Node is in Virgo. So the themes around that come up around this eclipse, you may be revisiting them in the near future. Just be aware of that. So some ways to deal with that kind of sense of urgency, that sense of crisis that's happening right now. A lot of may be occurring to you right now, and you may have a lot of indecision. Again, take things one at a time, write things down. I know I'm always saying that, and you guys probably think I'm crazy, but when you write stuff down, it's memorialized and you don't have to think about it. It's like by writing it down someplace where you can see it again, you're freeing up some of your brain capacity. Is that how it is for you guys? Maybe that's just me. It frees up some of your brain capacity. Now you don't have to remember it because you've written it down, as long as you remember where to find it again, right? So there's some ways to deal with that. Write things down, take things one at a time, make a list of the top 3 or 4 things you need to get done that day, check them off. It's always a sense of accomplishment when we're able to do that, right? Check things off our to-do lists. And remember, don't repress or deny your feelings. If feelings come up, acknowledge what's going on. Acknowledge what you're feeling. It could be, if it's something negative, it could be sadness, frustration, it could be something else. Sometimes it's helpful to look at your feelings from a cognitive viewpoint, right? Not always, you don't want to be too analytical about emotions or rationalize emotions, but it's helpful to take that observer function and be a little more detached and examine your emotions. And journaling is a great way for that. Just free write for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and see what comes up. Another thing I wanted to mention, I was listening again to astrologer Pam Gregory, who's a British astrologer. It's really good. And she was doing a video on this eclipse. And she mentioned something that it makes sense when I heard it. She said it's a good time to, bless the water before you have a drink of water, Pisces being water, associated with water and fluids. Before you use water or have a drink of water, to bless the water. And I thought that just makes so much sense because, in my religion, how I was raised Catholic, we say grace before almost every meal. We bless the food. Why wouldn't we bless the water every time we use water or drink water? Well, we take water for granted so much of the time. It's everywhere, right? It's abundant for us, for at least, in the US, in most places. There have been restrictions in some parts of the country in the recent past, but it's usually pretty abundant, and we kind of take it for granted, right? I'm a big reader, and I read some recently some post-apocalyptic fiction where the water runs out, and of course that's unfathomable to us because it's so abundant. So to that end, this is a good practice to get into, and it's good to add to your gratitude practice as part of rewiring the brain for things to be grateful about. The more we think about things that we're grateful for, the more the universe will give us things to be grateful for, right? So the more we bless those things and thank those things, the more things we will be given to be thankful about. So that's a good, easy thing to do just before you take a shower or have a glass of water, is bless the water. So I love that. And I thank Pam Gregory for mentioning that. Really good reminder. Now, during this eclipse, Mercury is going to be conjunct the sun, which obviously the sun is going to be opposite the moon because it's a full moon. Mercury conjunct the sun. So they're going to be conjunct by a few degrees. When Mercury is involved, we may have those sudden insights, flashes of intuition. We may have realizations. things that we may have been looking at, we may have been studying and researching or learning may come together kind of in a sudden flash of insight. I did a video all about this, the intuitive power of Mercury, and you can see it right here. It's really good. So just know that that may happen. And because Pisces is involved, and Pisces is one of the most psychic and intuitive energies of the zodiac, Pisces is involved, and Mercury is involved by being opposite the moon, conjunct the sun during this lunation. Just know that these insights may happen quickly, and they may be extremely powerful and plentiful. You may be getting a lot of different insights. And again, look to the house in your chart where the sun and Mercury are going to be hitting and where the moon is going to be hitting. That may give you an indication of those life themes that you may be getting insights about. Now, we're starting the retrograde season, so some guidelines. Again, energy is going to be turned inward, reflection, rumination, take notes, make plans, make lists. I like to think about it as getting back to basics, revisit some things, take another look, review some things, review some old patterns, review things that you may have studied in the past, anything that you may have a question about. This is a good time to do that. And remember, do those grounding activities, yoga, weightlifting, cardio, walking, barefoot forest walking, all that stuff is really good. Meditating, just setting a timer and just sitting for 10 minutes, even if you're not doing like a formal meditation, all that stuff is really good to do. If your kids need to do some physical activities to discharge any restlessness they have or any emotional intensity they have, those are good things to do too. Physical activities with the kids, playgrounds, for older kids, escape rooms, things that may engage the mind that involve some physical activity. Those are all really good things to do during this time. Now, I want to point out two aspects that are happening right around the time of the lunar eclipse in Pisces. So that's happening on the 7th. Also on the 7th, which is tomorrow, Venus is going to be in hard aspect to Neptune. It's kind of a difficult transit. Venus informs one-to-one relationships, how we manage the give and take in relationships, how we relate to the other person in the relationship. So Neptune, there's always a risk with fog, brain fog, confusion, and in this case, it could be confusion about relationships. So any realizations you come to, I would not act on them yet, or I would not act impulsively, and I would not speak from a place of impulsiveness. Watch your words, think about your words before you speak them. Before long, the fog may lift and you may see that you did not have all the facts or were going to act on incomplete information, which is often a risk when Neptune is in hard aspect to a planet. It is a good time to use your observer function. That's what I mean when I talk about being detached. And that is a key component of a brand new parenting framework that I'm going to reveal on the 10th, on Wednesday, when I do my Facebook Live to announce the giveaway winner for the course. So if you want to find out about that and get the freebie I'm going to give to everybody who shows up on Wednesday, you can click the link to reserve your spot for the Facebook Live. Just a teaser. But for that transit, go slowly, be observant, don't be impulsive. Now, the next day, the 8th, Saturn is going to be conjunct the moon, and the moon is going to be void, of course. So Saturn's already retrograding, good times, right? Okay, so again, we're starting retrograde season. When the moon is in void, of course, which is not something we have talked about in detail yet on this channel, but it's good to think about in terms of transits. When the moon is void, of course, it is a period of typically low energy, and it's a period that compels you to rest. It's a little frustrating for me because I'll always have a lot of mental activity and I want to do stuff and get things done. And it's always annoying to me when my body is communicating to me, no, you need to rest. It's very annoying. But nevertheless, we're limited by these physical bodies. We have to take care of them. So you all are going to think I'm crazy when I say this. When I have these periods of needing to rest, like low energy when the moon is void, of course, the things I do to like feel better are like I'll pay bills. I will redo my budget or at least take another look at it. I will look at my investment portfolio. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I have a Capricorn moon, so those things make me feel good. It feeds my soul when I am productive and I can check things off my to-do list. It feeds my soul. I know you think that's nuts, but that's what having a Capricorn moon is all about. So those are things I do to feel grounded during that time. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I am saying it's a good idea to think about those activities that feed your soul, that make you feel good. Activities, low key activities that you can do when the moon is void, of course, to feel like you are, still making an effort, still being productive. It doesn't mean you have to do everything. Another thing that people like to do, myself included, because I have a fourth house moon, is cook some easy recipes, easy but tasty recipes. That's something that I associate with the moon being void, of course, because it's something you do at home, something that nourishes your body. Good things to remember. If you can do that with your kids, cook easy recipes, that's a great thing to do because you're also teaching them a skill. So that's it for the section on the lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now, one more thing. If you would like a deep dive into what it is like to parent a Pisces child, check out this video. It is with my good friend Dominique Jaramillo. He's a wonderful astrologer, a mom of a Pisces boy. And this video is from the point of view of an Aquarius parent, but it is good for any parent who is parenting a Pisces child. Really, really good, deep, reflective info. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please drop them below and I will see you very soon. Hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday at the Facebook Live. Just click below to reserve your spot. Take care.